Hi, welcome to the IRTV studio at IRX 2017. Now, I've just nipped over to stand and grabbed Derek O'Carroll, who's the CEO of Brightpearl. We're doing some work with Brightpearl on an interesting white paper. But before we dive in, Derek, welcome.
Thank you very much,
Ian.
Ian.
Brightpearl, what do you do?
What Brightpearl do? So essentially we automate the back office for retailers. So what that means is we combine in one system orders, inventory and cash. So effectively we automate trade across all channels, shops and online, and we create automatic accounts. We operate in the UK and the US, we've got about 1,200 customers and we're HQ'd in Bristol.
Lovely Bristol now.
Lovely Bristol.
So in the very old days when people were starting to go online, they would either start off with an accounting system and upload things to the web, or they start off with a website to be running things with Excel. Because it sounds like you're building this middle chunk of the hard end of doing multi-channel retail. Is that correct?
It is correct, and I think it's been driven like anything by consumers. So customers out there today, they're being trained by companies like Uber and Amazon, so they have a very high level of expectation. So if they go online or go into a store, they order a product, they expect it delivered in the same way as if it was being ordered over Amazon. So gone are the days when you could do that with a whole range of disparate different systems. So what we've done is we've built one system to allow you to punch above your weight and deliver the same level of customer success, customer service as Amazon does.
So I mean that's really quite interesting because in internet retailing, when we're looking at our top 500 retailers, the very best and the biggest are spending a lot of effort to streamline and integrate. Whereas those who are maybe starting out or are sort of 10 million, 20 million, so established great businesses, but just not that massive scale, they're really having to focus on how they can compete without those massive investments.
Yeah.
So with Brightpearl, my understanding is that you can just literally turn it on and plug it into your business without that integration overhead.
Correct. I think there's two types of customers that are out there for us, for Brightpearl. You have one category, which are those cool guys who've developed a really good niche product, and they have extremely high levels of demand for that niche product, and they need to service that demand in the same way and reach those levels of customer success that I spoke about earlier. And for those guys, it pretty much is plug and play because they have their SQ, they're ready to go, and we push them up onto the platform, and within typically 30 days, they're able to then go on to the next level of scaling, and they can open up in different markets, so they could jump around and open up in Amazon one day, and then open up another store down in Spain. So that's one category. The other category are those more established retailers that are doing very well, maybe growing at 20, 30% per year, but they could and want to scale their business in other markets, but they have legacy systems. So they might have server-based systems or a whole range of systems and people who are used to using those systems. And for those, we work with them with our professional service engagement to get them through a migration path. It's a little bit longer, but then they are also in a position to be able to scale accordingly and get to that above 60% growth by effectively going into new markets without incurring any extra cost on the back office.
So that second group, we're doing some research with you on at the moment about looking what the things are that are holding them back and maybe what the trigger points are that give you a hint that maybe it's time to not just keep working the same old things harder but look at a different option. So from your perspective, what are the indicators for those growth companies that maybe they should be looking at changing the way they do things to step up for that growth?
Yeah, so I think the number one area is the degree of repeat custom that they get. So that's customer loyalty that they've been able to build through their existing channels. And if they are not hitting a sort of one customer coming back at least 3 times a year to them, they should be redirecting their investment in that area. So that's one point. The second point is the cost of going into other markets. So if they are on those legacy systems, they need to be ensuring that they're keeping their investment on the back office cost to below 3%. So the trigger point would be anything above 3% as you're trying to go into those new markets would be the second one. And then the other trigger point is effectively not maintaining the same level of margin you have in your core market. So that's obviously the third and final trigger point for those legacy companies.
And in fact, as the business is growing, then managing retention and margin and the cost to serve are things that leaders are juggling with all the time anyway.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing now is companies that have got their act together. So they've got the good product, it's in the right fit, they've got the right price point. They're now realizing that, because everyone's heard customer success, customer service is really, really important. But now what we're seeing is companies are really putting their money where their mouth is. So there's a big increase in the percentage of overall dollar spend into the area of customer success. So that's obviously fast, rapid engagement on social channels. So when someone pops up a request on chat or on Facebook, is having the resources that are there to be able to engage in real time. And then the basics of having a proper returns process in place that you actually follow through, and offer free returns, well planned, to get that extra 3-4% conversion on the front end. So that's a big area.
So I'm thinking back, 15, 16 years ago when people had to assemble all of this themselves. Now it's all been brought together, turn it on and have that capability. Where's your focus now for the next phase? What problem are you solving next?
So in the short term, up to June this year, we're focusing on rolling out products that augment the platform we have to allow customers to be truly omni-channel. So it's pretty much as you said earlier on, if you're going to compete in today's world, you have to service the requirement to have the same level of service either in the shop or online.
Yeah.
So that's what we're rolling out POS. We've actually got it here at the show, and it's integrated POS. So on your point of sale, you see what's going on in terms of your inventory and cash in real time. Yeah. And then we'll then follow that up with warehousing, which we've been working on for about 2 years. So that'll be up to June. And then beyond that, we see a big shift from our customers towards being able to engage with their back office in a much more friendlier manner. So if you think like 25 years ago, we had, we were all clicking on websites. 10 years ago or 15 years ago, we started swiping, and now we're going to start chatting, right? So the introduction of natural language, in other words, the ability to chat to your own system or chat to Brightpearl, will be the area that we'll be focusing on in the second half.
Great.
And we've put a lot of investment to ensure that you have, the systems and the accuracy to be able to support machines talking to the back office. And that's going to be great for our customers because it's more time, because it's going to be quicker to get the answers. Yeah. What's my margin in Germany on a day of trade, and so forth. And they can go focus on customer success and growing their product.
Fantastic.
Which is what we should do.
Well, that's a very rosy sounding year coming up for you.
Yeah.
So if you're at the show, do call by and see Brightpearl at stand number something or other. It's just behind us on the right hand side.
H 37.
Yes,
I should have known that.
Well done. And if you're looking at this before June, then we are running a survey with Brightpearl to look at what the trigger points are for you in terms of growing your business, anything that's holding you back, or what the accelerating factors would be. And if you're looking at this after June, well, firstly, we're a lot older now, but secondly, the white paper will be out. So look in the white paper section, and you can see the results of our work there. So Derek, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, Ian.
From IRX 2017. Thank you.
Cheers.
Good.
Thanks.